how to send healing to somebody else. Say if you know somebody who's struggling at the minute, maybe with a health issue, or it may not even be a health issue. It may be somebody that is struggling in a certain situation, like they've got a conflict with somebody or something like that, and you want to send them healing for the situation to help them to progress the situation a bit better. Say you want to send healing to the world, with all of the dispute and conflict that we see in the world at the minute, and the people that you feel are, that are struggling and suffering, you can send healing to groups of people as well. Okay. But the really important thing here is, and there's a couple of things I want to tell you about how to do it, if you wish, is first of all, it's always good to set the intention to send healing to somebody in grace. Now, what in grace means, okay, is if their higher self or their soul agrees to accept the healing. Now, you might think, well, why would their higher self not want them to be healed? Why would the higher self not want the physical person to be healed? Why would they not want healing brought to a conflict? There are things that happen that goes beyond our understanding. So the higher self sees all perspectives. It sees the higher truth of everything. So the reason that the higher self might not be able to accept healing straight away at that time is because the person who's having the life experience that you're sending the healing to, they may have to go through certain experiences and lessons first to learn what it is that they came here to learn. Okay, I know that goes very deep. Okay, so say for example you could just go around healing everybody, then no one would learn the deeper lessons that they need to learn about how to improve their physical health, how to resolve conflicts on their own, how to see the higher perspective. So what you say is, I send healing to this person or this situation, but in grace. So what you're saying is, if the higher self looks at all of the aspects involved in this and says, yes, that's okay, we can accept healing at this time. Does that make sense? So say somebody's really, really ill at the minute, and the only reason they can grow from that experience is to experience that illness, to ultimately come out the other side of it, because they've gleaned some sort of wisdom, knowledge, or understanding that they didn't have, or they wouldn't have had if they hadn't have had that experience of illness, say, for example. Does that kind of make sense? So you always send it in grace if it's okay for the highest good. If this healing then restricts somebody's growth because they're not learning things themselves that they need to learn about how to heal themselves, then okay, then that can't be used as a healing at this time. But if it can, great. Okay. The other tip that I want to give you is, if you're thinking, well, I don't know how to send healing, some people might be Reiki attuned or something, so they can send distance Reiki to someone and they can direct it towards that person and in grace allow them to receive it. Because when you're sending healing to somebody, they're not giving their literal permission, you're just sending it to them. So that person should always really be given permission for that healing as well. So that's another reason why we do it in grace, okay? You can still send it, but always say if it's okay with the higher self, because the higher self sees more than we do. There's certain things that we don't understand that the higher self does, and we have to trust that. We have to trust that. These people that need healing are always guided by their higher self, okay? Because on some level, sometimes the people that are going through the struggles on some level kind of at a soul level wanted that experience so that they could transform from it, if that makes sense. But they have to learn certain things themselves first before someone just goes around healing them all. Do you see what I mean? But what I would say is, if you think, well, I don't know what type of healing to send people, I'm not a healer, it doesn't matter. Deep down, you are a healer. We've all got the potential to heal within us. We just don't realize that we have. But what I would say is, you have a spirit guide, quite likely, that specializes in healing. You can send your spirit guide to that person. And if you're not resonating much with spirit guides, you could send your higher self to do the healing. You could say, my higher self, go to their higher self and administer some healing. You could do it that way if you want as well. So they're my tips to you. And if you can follow that a little bit, best you can. You won't go far wrong with being able to help people. But the one main thing that I will say is, whenever you want someone to be whole and complete and feel better and have health again, for example, see them as already healthy. That really helps as well. So when you're seeing somebody really like ill or something, instead of going, oh my God, they look absolutely dreadful, try and see beyond that and see their full radiant self that is actually existing beyond what we can see. See them as already healed. That is massively powerful as well. So I hope that helps, guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.